You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
All right.
Hey, buddy. So you're blurring your background?
I can unblur it. I had it blurred because I had 2 interviews this week.
For what?
For jobs for next summer. We already have to be doing that.
And tell me about them.
Hold on, let me unblur it. There. Now you guys can all see my room.
You don't have to tell me about. You could tell me the name of the firms when we're done with the pod. But
sure. Well, it was 2 interviews for the same position. It was like an interview, and then they emailed me the next day, and we're like,
big firm.
Yeah.
And you don't want to work where you're working now?
I have no idea.
Oh, for the summer, like that, yeah.
Yeah, and but it's crazy that the process is literally like we have to get jobs, or we have to like start looking for jobs for an entire year from now, and not just what everyone does. If you don't do it, like you're late.
And how did you get this?
There's a whole, it's like OCI, like on campus interview. It's like a whole program that the school puts on, and it's a platform that all the like every firm will list themselves on your law school's website, and then you go in and you submit yourself, and then they like reach out to the people that they want to interview.
So you had 2 interviews.
Yeah, and then I have another one on Tuesday with a different.
When do you find out?
I don't know.
So is it the one on Wednesday, different firm?
Yeah.
Put in the chat. Is it a national firm?
The first one, the one that I had 2 interviews is, and the one that the interview on Tuesday is just in Florida. I don't know if you'd know it, but
yeah, that's a big firm. I know exactly where they are.
Yeah, so
I deal with them a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had an interview on Tuesday, I think, and then another one on Thursday, a follow-up, like a callback.
So, all right, so this will be a 3rd interview?
No. The one next week is a different firm.
That's not the one you just texted me about.
The one I just texted you, I had 2 interviews with already.
And you have a follow-up, you said?
No. I had an interview and then I had follow-up.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying I met with them twice.
You had an interview and you had a follow-up, but that's it now.
Yes, correct.
Right. And what's the one on
Thursday? No, but the second one was also an interview. I interviewed with the managing partner. The first one I met with.
I get that. I understand. Right. And when you don't know if you find out or not?
I don't know yet.
All right, good. I'm sure you did fine.
Right, yeah, it is what it is.
How was your weekend?
Good. It's a hurricane right now. Hopefully the Wi-Fi like stays good. So yeah, we're doing this remote. Obviously, I'm sure you guys can tell.
Because I'm in Colorado. Come back tomorrow.
If you can get back tomorrow.
What's the worst? I stay another day.
No, yeah, I mean it's not that big of a deal for you guys.
I do want to get back. I got shit to do. I got to get in the office. I got a lot. I got to get back court Tuesday morning. But you can handle court for me, can't you?
Yeah, sure.
Sure you can.
Yeah, but like right now outside, it's pretty nasty. Like pretty windy and rainy. But we're not really getting the brunt of it. Tampa, it seems like it's going to get rocked and flooded and shit.
Yeah, I don't want to get anything with the house,
Yeah, no, it's just like a bad storm, but it's been all day. But it's like right where you'd have to cross through to come back from Colorado. So who knows?
Oh, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
How's the apartment been without your brother?
Nice.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it stays so clean. For real, like it's so clean. I just cooked dinner for like the week and lunch, and I was cleaning up as I was going, right? So like I finished cooking and the kitchen was all clean. Whereas with Bryce, that's just not the case. Wow. And with Bryce, like the couch, he like he'll sit on the couch and the cushions will get like really messed up from just the way that he sits on the couch. So I always have to like, every time he gets up from the couch, I have to like, shake the cushion up so they're flat again, because otherwise like you see his full butt crease in the cushion and it's like you're sitting in a concave shit, and it's like I don't like that.
Tell me how you really feel.
No, I mean, look, he's as good of a roommate as you can get, but still, it's like living with a roommate. It's living with a roommate,
And how's Hannah doing?
Good.
which just end
She
up doing
freaks
some.
out about these storm shits, which is so funny.
Does she really?
But I
Why?
think it's just a female thing, and also like when you're not from this state. Like I remember freaking out about the idea of earthquakes, where everyone in California is like they don't even think about it, it's nonchalant. Where to us here it's nonchalant, but I feel like all the new people who've moved here, they think of hurricanes and they're like, oh, Katrina, and it's like no, it's not like that.
Funny. All right. All right. So what's
The
going on?
real shit that you got to worry about, which I just realized this weekend, I went and saw Twisters, the movie about the tornadoes. That's the
Wait, the old one
freakiest.
you with Bill Bixby?
They remade it.
Oh, they remade it? Who's in it?
Glenn Powell, who is great. He was the guy who was in Top Gun and that rom com in Australia about the wedding date. You saw that. Anyone but you or something. If I showed you a picture, you'd be
Oh
like, oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. He's cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So he plays like the cowboy. It's like very country. And then there's like a girl who plays like the scientific researcher, and it was fun. Like it wasn't an amazing movie, but it was fun. But those tornadoes are scary shit.
Yeah, right. Hey, I watched on Netflix Land of Bad.
What is
It's
that?
pretty good. It's
Terrible
about
name.
it's like four like guys go into it's like an army thing, but a good army thing. I think you'll like it. It's not something Hannah or
Okay.
mom.
Yeah.
So why can't I download Netflix now to my laptop?
You can't download Netflix to a laptop.
I've always used to do that all the
You
time.
can download if you have the Netflix app. You can download it to the app, but you can't
I
go on
do.
Netflix.com and download it.
No, I have the app. It won't let
Oh,
me download it now.
then I have no idea.
Did they do away with allowing it to download?
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to check. I'd have to check.
All right. So
And now's not the time.
right. So what's going on? Talk about what's happening. What's going on in the news?
Kamala officially got the votes, enough delegates.
Better her than Michelle Obama, because then we definitely would lose.
Yeah, Michelle Obama doesn't want to run
Thank
because
God.
then her birth certificate would come out and it would say male. But on
Michael Obama. Who do you think? I mean, Kamala
here's the
Harris.
thing, like so you have like last episode, are you getting feedback? Because I hear feedback.
I am not.
Okay. I hope it's just me. Um, Last episode we were talking about Kamala and Trump. We were like, she's gaining a lot of momentum. I think it's just like because it's new and fresh, and Biden was so old and decrepit that people are like, finally, I can be semi excited about
About a
this
Democrat,
race.
right? Right.
So I think that's why she was getting the support. I think as there's still uh August, September, October, like 3 full months of her on the campaign trail to be Kamala Harris.
She's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, she just when she opens her
She is
mouth,
terrible.
like yeah, she's just a terrible speaker. She has a terrible history. She's
She
not.
does not. She does not protect and punish those who I'm saying. She's not. She's more very liberal on crimes and
No,
punishment.
she's the opposite. That's the whole thing. She's so hypocritical because she's talking about how great she is for the black community and all this stuff. Meanwhile, she was like single-handedly responsible for keeping like she would jail when she was attorney general in California. She was like notorious for bringing charges on people for the smallest little petty crimes.
Yeah,
She would she
yeah,
would
go
keep
ahead.
people in jail for 10 years on like a possession of weed charge in California. And so a lot of people now are like, you are single-handedly responsible for like the decimation of the black community in California because you put so many black men in jail. Now you're trying to pretend that you're an ally of the black like community and that you're black yourself.
What was she only a prosecutor? What was her position?
Yeah, I think she was the attorney general. I mean, we can get it up. Let's
And
see.
that's it. She didn't hold
Oh,
any
and then she
other
was a senator for California.
California. And when she was the one that put that bill in place as senator for California about the crimes under $1,000, I believe.
Did she? I thought
Yeah.
that was during COVID.
No, I think she's the one that did that one.
Let's see. She was U.S. Senator in California from 2017 to 2021, and then Attorney General of California prior to that. She was attorney general from 2011 to 2017. It's a long time.
Yeah.
And then she was the
And again,
district
it's not,
attorney from 2000 of San Francisco from 2004 to 2011. So she was always a prosecutor.
she is. It's unbelievable that she could run and be in that position. I mean, it shows you what a fucking
She
bitch.
just failed upwards, honestly, because she always has failed. Like, remember, she was running. Biden chose her as a VP, but before that, she was running against him as the nominee
Yeah,
in
she got defeated.
20. When would that have been? 2020,
2020.
and she got lower. Like, she was destroyed. Remember, but before that um, presidential race, like for the Democratic nominee, Buttigieg, like no one had ever heard of him, right? He was the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. That's how random of a politician he was. And he got way more votes than she did as a US senator from the largest state in the country. Like that's how much of a difference.
I know, but it's so anti. There's so many voters are anti-Trump that they're just happy to have anyone besides Biden. So now they're going to vote for her.
Which like that was always going to be the way it is. So you like that's just, she was always going to get those voters. Even the people who hated Biden, they still wouldn't vote for Trump.
I don't know. There were people that were Dems that now switched over to the other side.
No, I know, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what you said. There are people that hate Trump so much that they will vote for whoever is on the other side. That's what you just said about Kamala. And it's like, yeah, those people you're never going to win over. There are definitely other people who were like liberal and Democrat, but over the years they've just realized that it's all fallen to shit. But
Yeah, it's I know I say it all the time, but if he doesn't win and she wins,
so
you
there were
gotta
all these well, first hold on, I want to
you gotta think about where you're gonna move.
um so this because you know how you're talking about the last presidential race and sign in here.
When do you start school?
August 19th.
You excited?
Yeah, I am actually. I like school. Work is nice too, actually, but school is like, you just are on your own time. It's fun to just like, be learning all day.
But don't you like the money?
Of course, that's yeah. If I could be in school and make the money, that would be great,
Are you able to work during second year at all or no?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you are able to. It just will depend. I figured I wouldn't make that decision for a couple weeks to figure out,
Of course, what you schedule, what times
yeah,
you
is this plausible? Is it even worth it? Like, what am I gonna,
right.
what can I do?
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So during the last presidential election for the like Democratic nominee that we were just talking about, where Kamala ran and did terribly. And then so there's this video that's going around now from that, which is pretty much people say is like the end of it was kind of like the end of her presidential run back then. And people have conveniently forgotten about this video, and it's not being really shared in mainstream media. But let's see, I'll play it for you because it really shows how
Do I need
like her
oh,
history.
you're the host. Right, okay.
What?
Saying, do I need to allow you to share the screen, but you're the host?
Yeah, let me see here.
I know the whole thing scares me because I hear, Trump's going back to his old ways, which is like a shame. He's when he's off script and he's just needs to shut
You
his
have to make
mouth.
me the host. You didn't make me the host.
Oh, I didn't make you the host. I'm sorry, Brownie. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I'll make you the host. Where's three? Okay, there we go. Three little dots. Make host. Done. Oh, you brother, you're in complete control.
All right. So
How does it feel to have such power?
here, can you see this?
I see. You said started screen share, but nothing. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
So yeah, watch. This is Tulsi Gabbard, who was also a nominee at the time. And this was during their debate for the Democratic nominee. And this is like what put the nail in Kamala's coffin. And which I think like will be good for because Kamala's going to debate, hopefully, and then she'll really show, because she had no comeback to this at the time, and it was like literally her numbers dropped off and she didn't go anywhere after this. Let's see.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence.
It's like people didn't like her back then.
That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris.
And she had no response, by the way. The response isn't in there.
Oh, it's not.
No, the response isn't in that video. I can see if I can find it, but I don't think she had a response.
I would like to see her speak. Interesting.
Yeah, and
is that all true? All that stuff that she said.
Oh, here, yeah. Let's see. Here's her response. Yeah, it is all true. We can get up the exact like specific receipts, but let's see here. Let me try to do this again.
You got it, brother.
So I'm going to skip this. We just watched this. Let's see.
That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about re-entry.
My Wi-Fi is so bad. Is it pausing for you like that?
Yeah, I can't hear. Yeah, it's not. That's not.
It's because the storm. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is not great.
Oh, that sucks.
But she's the queen of saying a lot without saying anything.
That's true. She said, and she says the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
When is the debate between her and Trump?
They haven't agreed to one yet. I think there was one that they wanted to do on September 4th on Fox. Trump agreed to it in front of a live audience, and I don't think she has yet. That'll be like, the debates will be great because that will really show, because if she just is walking around and not saying anything, and you look at her compared to Biden, you're like, oh yeah, I'd vote for her. But once she starts opening her mouth, then you're like, oh.
I don't know. I think that no matter what, people are still going to vote anti-Trump. That's the problem.
Yeah,
they just hate him.
Right, but that's just that's just the nature of the system right now.
I get it.
You're never like, the people who hate Trump are never going to vote for Trump, even if it's Stalin against him. Like, they just, like, that's how deep it goes for them.
We gotta win. You're fucked if he doesn't.
So
win.
all of the, like, there's been these things that I don't even know who's organizing them. Someone, it's got to be her campaign or something, but there have been these big Zoom calls, like, to garner support for Kamala. So it started with white women for Kamala. It was like this group that started, and they got all these white liberal celebrities, like actors and shit, to be on this Zoom and just talk for like 30 seconds. And they were getting huge. They had like hundreds of thousands of people on these Zoom calls, and they raised like millions of dollars. But so they did that one, and I want to show you just a clip from it, because everyone was like sharing this clip because it was so cringe. But then a few days after that, they did one that was called White Dudes for Kamala. And it's like, what are you saying? It's a real thing that they had hundreds of thousands of people on there that were all like I'm so excited, like white guys, right? Like me and you just being on this and being like, I'm so excited to see a woman in the Oval Office and like, what the fuck are you doing? And that's how she's trying to get support, but it seems to be working.
We're fucked if she wins.
I got to show you some of these clips because they're really funny.
It's a real concern. I'm stressing out.
Why? What do you think will happen?
Because she was in charge of the border, and she'll continue to allow all the illegal.
I don't think she was in charge of the border. I think the border was a shit show, and they didn't want to do anything, so they were like, let's just put her name on it.
Okay, she was in charge of it.
But do you think she was really like making decisions? I don't think so. I think it was just
she
like
could have made decisions to stop it. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know, because I think there were, like we've talked about, the deep state. I think there were bigger powers at B that wanted the border to be the way it was, and that's why it was the way it was. Obviously, you think it's she could have changed the whole thing? No,
I think she could do something.
But didn't we both agree on the fact that it was a purposeful letting in of the border? Like right? Didn't we both think
doesn't matter? It's under her watch. Doesn't matter. It's under her watch.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think she did anything. I think the Democratic Party wanted this border to be porous, and so they just kind of were like, let's let it be and let the border happen.
Look, I'm just telling right now, if she wins, we're fucked between crime, safety, the economy, socialism. You know, Uncle Alec, who lives in London, who is very liberal. I was talking to him today. He's coming in like 2 weeks, you know, what, a week and a half, whatever. And he was saying how bad the UK is and England with the government is all socialism. Him saying it. Him. He still would vote anti-Trump. So you understand what I'm saying? My point. But he's talking about it. If America is, look, Ronnie, it's just so bad.
But if Europe has always been more socialist than America too.
Capitalism won't exist anymore. Interest rates will be higher. You're gonna have more and more illegal people in. You're gonna have more and more crime.
Well, socialism and illegal immigrants don't like. That's not.
I'm telling you about. I mean, what's gonna happen to our country? I'm not saying socialism equals illegal immigrants. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you just a bullet point of where the issues are going to be. America will no longer be a superpower. We're not going to respect other countries. She's a weak fucking leader. She's incompetent. She has no track record of doing anything positive.
Wait, so those first two things, sorry to stop you. America will no longer be the superpower and we will not be respected. I don't think we are the superpower anymore, and I don't think we're respected. Anyways.
There's a difference.
Trump ran on that whole thing. That's what make America great again means. That's if you say we need to make America great again, you're admitting that we're not great.
Okay.
Right?
No, but we're still the superpower, and we still have there was still the measurement and like the center of the world economy and world safety.
I don't think we are.
All right, I disagree with you. I'm just keeping myself, but I think that if we had Biden another 4 years or Kamala for 4 more years, we're one of the is a precipice, is like the edge of it, where it could be a turning point for the good or irreversible. If she wins and we keep the same stupid Democratic Party and we don't change it, it's gonna be irreversible. So I think we could change it and have a good 4 years and get our economy going and the safety and where America's respected and things like that. But if it continues down this road, we're done. Because I agree, we're not respected, but we still are a superpower. No question.
But I don't think we're the military. I mean, we have the biggest military, but I don't think we're like, in the 80s, right? If America said something, right? If America was like, you two knock it off, it was done, right? Because the threat of America getting involved was too big of a threat. Or if America was like, we want it to be this way, talking about, some other political foreign affairs, it was done that way because we had shit to back it up with. That's not the case anymore. There are 2 wars between multiple countries going on in the world right now, and America has tried to stop it and gotten involved very, very clearly in both wars on one side, and these wars have not stopped. If anything, they've gotten significantly worse. Where back in the day, if America got involved and backed Ukraine, right? Like, let's say Russia invaded Ukraine in the 80s, and America was like, no, we're on Ukraine's side, Russia would have stopped in their tracks. Meanwhile, now they're just like, okay, who fucking cares? We'll keep doing it. Same with the other way. Israel was attacked. America's like, we're behind Israel. We're backing Israel. And Iran is like, who gives a fuck? We're going to launch nukes at you. Like it doesn't
Okay.
hold the power like it did.
Because of who's in office. I still think we still somewhat have power and still have strength and there's still hope for us. But if we don't change it and it continues 4 more years of under Kamala's guidance, it's irreversible and done. You understand what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
different.
yeah. But I don't think we
It's
are
sort of
a
like
superpower
this.
currently.
Okay, it's sort of like being a parent and your kid misbehaving, and you say as an adult, when that kid at 6, you can is one, but that kid at 13 is gonna be too late. That's my point analogy. If we don't change our position in how we run our country and who's running our country, we're done.
Yeah, but
Done.
I also disagree with that because like I hear you and it'll be shitty in the interim, but like there's no such thing as irreversible change in a country. Not like Germany went from the Nazis and Hitler and literally owning all of Europe. They had from Spain to Russia was Nazi Germany, and it was very Nazi Germany, right? Like what we think of. And then 2 years after Hitler was killed, it was like America in Berlin. It was fully like America, and there was no such thing as Nazis anymore. Everything was changed. All of those countries became their own countries. That like there's things can change in politics extremely quickly. There's like, sure, we can be down, 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 but it takes one person, and it literally one, and that was back before there was internet. Now with the internet, things can change within the week. You can literally have a different country by the end of the week because they used to have countries change within years, which was an insane thing. The Soviet Union was the superpower of the world, right? Like they were out America's biggest threat. And they were around for 70 years. No, 50, yes, almost 70 years. And then within 1 week, it was gone, you know, and then the Soviet Union didn't exist. And all of those countries, which were one country, right? There was no such country in the 80s or the 70s as Poland, Ukraine, Yugoslavia, so like the Latvia, those countries didn't exist. They were not countries, but they became countries within like 1 week. So things can change really fast. I agree with you. It's scary. And the interim between that change is bad, but it's not like 4 years of Kamala and we're fucked forever.
No, I think we're fucked forever. I think we're major. I think we're fucked forever. And we have major problems. Look what's good. Like look at Europe with all the Muslims. It came too late now. It's done.
So in England, speaking of, there's all this shit going off today. Like shit's been popping off today because I don't know the full story. We could look it up, but there was some like Muslim people were protesting in the streets, and then someone got hurt, and so then like British people were like storming and rioting outside of a hotel where all the migrants were being put up. So they were like rioting in front of this hotel, like get out of here. And then it shifted, and now like the few things that I saw this afternoon were of like Muslim militant groups walking through the streets, like seeking out white British people to like beat up in the streets of England. That was happening today. Let me see if I can get a news story to even back it up.
You know what kind of problem this is? It's a major fucking problem.
England.
Major fucking problem.
Muslim protest.
You gotta watch Land of Bad.
Oh yeah, right here. It says UK police mobilized for far-right protests after third night of anti-Muslim riots. Police hurt in protests across England. Let's see. So people are these headlines kind of seem a little biased. This headline says extreme right activists are terrorizing UK's Muslims. That seems biased. Here, this is from CNN. This was 30 minutes ago. Rioters attack hotels used to house asylum seekers amid worst UK disorder in years. Here, I'll play it. I think I can play this video. Let's see.
Terrible. The world's in the shitter.
But also, by the way, we freaking called that, did we not?
Yes, years ago.
We called, like I said, and that TikTok, that one of our TikToks went viral, where I was like, you'll see in the next year or so, you'll start to see more and more riots in Europe because the people are going to start rioting against the immigrants. And we're seeing it now. Let's see what this video says. Probably gonna play an ad.
This will be a gold mine of local intel.
Yeah. All right, we'll wait
Oh,
for that.
God, I don't like that guy. He annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah, so
Hey,
he's just too gay.
yeah, I agree. Homes.com.
Let's see.
Girls were killed in a Taylor Swift themed dance class.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
A week after, 3 small girls were killed in a Taylor Swift themed dance class in Southport near Liverpool in northwest England. Far-right protests, anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim protests have continued to take place in cities across the UK. On Saturday, they took place in cities such as Bristol in the west of England, Hull in the northeast, Belfast in Northern Ireland, Liverpool, Manchester
Wow, look at
as
that
well.
shit.
There were scenes of violence
And who are those in the back?
between far-right protesters and police, a number of whose officers were injured when they had things like bricks and bottles thrown at them. There were also violent scenes when anti-racist protesters and far-right protesters managed to get to one another. For the most part, they were kept apart by police officers. We also saw vehicles being set on fire. There are also reports of looting in some
Who's doing
instances
this?
as well.
Muslim?
Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
No, so I didn't know it was because of that. So last week or earlier this week or whatever, there were like 3 girls that were stabbed in a dance class.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
It was like a terror. They were stabbed from. I mean, let's get the exact things so we have it right.
Such a
Stabbing
fucking world.
England girls. Let's see. These are all about the riots. All right, let's see. 17-year-old was a stabbing attack that left 3 young girls dead. A 17-year-old suspect appeared in court, faced 3 counts of murder. The attack on children at a Taylor Swift-themed summer holiday dance class shocked the country where knife crime is a long-standing problem. The deaths have also been used by far-right activists to stoke anger at immigrants and Muslims, though the suspect isn't an immigrant and his religion hasn't been disclosed. Okay, but he still might be a child of immigrants, right? That's probably what it is. Because why else? Here's the thing that is like worrying me about the way that they're wording this. They're saying police say that the suspect was born in Britain, but they're not saying that he's born in Britain, but he could be, is Lebanese.
Right.
Which still, it's like you still are British, right? Because in America, right, your grandparents weren't American, but your parents were, and you fully think of them as American. You don't think of your parents as Russian, So it is a little like to say, oh yeah, but he was born there, it still doesn't matter. But these, is there a motive? Let's see. Look, the girls were 9, 7, and 6.
Evil. Fucking evil.
No motive has been disclosed yet. Kitchen knife. That's terrible. So yeah, these protests have been in response to that, which, I mean, that's a terrible thing. I get being upset about that. And then let me see if I can find
This is a crazy world.
England, because this afternoon I saw videos of like Muslim, like it looked like Muslim militants. Here, yeah, look. Muslim and immigrant defense militias dressed in all black patrolling.
Sorry, Brian. I'm fucking done.
My internet, sorry guys.
Yeah. Ronnie, this is the fucking problem, the violence.
Look at this. Yeah, my internet's not working, but you guys can get the gist. Look, beating up white people. So yeah, this says they're patrolling the cities in search of rioters. This says the Holiday Inn in Tamworth is currently on fire, set alight by far-right thugs. Yeah, I mean, this is all going on today. Like that's what. Yeah, crazy.
It's unbelievable. This is disgusting.
But we called that. We straight up. I can get the video. I remember it starts with me saying, "You're gonna see in the next year, people across Europe are gonna start to riot with anti-immigrant sentiments." Like, and it's happening.
Well, when you say anti-immigrant, you mean what? Not letting Muslims in their country?
No, it has nothing to do with just Muslim. With saying we're like me and you aren't against any specific ethnicity in particular. We're just like, you need to be of like, we need to keep the numbers of American, like the border.
Civilized.
It needs to
Right.
just be, it needs to be more regulated. You can't just let anyone in. That's
And
what
we're
like,
doing it. And they did. Or they're all in Europe now. And they're coming
Yeah.
to America, Bronny. They're coming here illegally in the strength in numbers. They're all coming to fucking America.
yeah, I was there's a journalist and like an author called Steve Saylor who does a lot of like political analysis, and he's like, he was way ahead of his time. He was writing about all this stuff in the 90s, early 2000s. He just released a book and I just bought it, and it's just like a collection of his essays. And one of them I haven't read it yet, but I will, and I'll report back. But the title of it is something like invite the world, become the world. And the essay is like about, if you invite like these people into your country, you will become their culture. There's nothing you can
100%.
do about it. So he's like, he's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to be ready for that to happen. You
But there
can't
is something
invite
wrong.
the world and then be
There is-
shocked if your culture changes.
Because the Middle Eastern mentality of these Muslim and Islamic nations hate America, hate freedom, hate.
No, but it's not.
capitalism,
It's not even about that. It's
No,
even
but-
if you invite, like,
But
like-
that's not the problem though.
no, but like,
That's
but
the
like,
problem.
a huge wave of Italian immigrants came to America in the 20s and in the 50s, and they changed America, right? Like they did objectively. Now you might think it's for the better, but they changed America.
Okay, but they're not. But then they're not anti-American.
Right.
They're not
That's, of course.
anti-American. They're not anti-American ways. They're
Yeah.
not with wanting to harm people. They're not. You know what I'm saying? There's a big fucking difference. This is a mentality that wants to bring America down from within and wants to use whatever. There's no regard. There's no equality. There's no due process. There's no discussion. It's just trend numbers like fucking roaches and just want to fucking harm people if you don't agree with their way. Where most people in other cultures take Irish, Jewish, Italian,
Indian,
Asian. You know what I'm saying? Take these other cultures. Then no one's. Might all disagree in various ways and beliefs and cultures and ideologies, but no one is physically harming someone because you have a different view.
But or even to go a step further, a lot of those cultures. I mean, you can even go Cuban, Venezuelan, like those immigrants, they come to America and they're so like they try to assimilate as much as they can because they're like, we are proud to be American, we're happy to be here.
But you know what? Let's assume they and I agree because then, like I said, they didn't want to change America way.
Right, they wanted to become American.
Right, but let's assume for argument's sake, they have a completely different view and said, I still might want to change whatever. They still stick to their own, but no one's harming anybody if you don't agree.
I don't know. Back when your dad was a teenager, they were harming people. They were straight up riots and wars in the streets because an Irish guy went into the Jewish neighborhood or a Jewish girl went into the Italian neighborhood, and they would full on beat them to a pulp.
Okay,
that's
a little different.
No, but that's what you were saying.
No, because people. Okay, no one.
They were harming others because of who they were.
No, okay. There was ignorance and stupidity in that, but what I'm trying to say is, but people stuck to their own little called ghettos or their own little areas of communities, and they were like sort of like gangs, so to speak. So if someone wandered out, it was like their territory, different, right? But different today now is they're coming to Europe and invading Europe and saying they're going out to just march and beat up white people.
But you're missing. They're going out as a reaction to the white people who were going out rioting, saying you all need to leave. You're being unfair in that treatment.
No, I'm not being unfair because you could have just like BLM and shit like that. They riot, but they're not harming people. Where BLM, I didn't like because they were harming people. They were destroying people.
But what about all those white people that were beating up the police? That news report said that there were police officers that were injured because the white people were throwing bottles and shit at them. What about those people?
I think get them all out of here. Then go back to the fucking.
No. What about those people? The white protesters who were rioting in the streets saying
should not do anything to the police.
Okay, but why are you? But the
I don't believe riot. Listen, I don't believe in riots. I believe in protests. I don't believe in riots. I don't believe that anything should be damaged property or be physical. You want freedom of speech? I'm all in favor. You don't have to agree with it. I don't think anybody has the right to damage anyone else's property or harm anybody else. Period. I don't agree with it. I don't care if the Jews did it. I don't care if anyone did. You don't harm people unless it's self-defense. Period.
Okay, but why then the brown protesters that were beating up the white people in those videos that we were just watching? Why you were like they need to all go home? But then when I said, but there were white people beating up the police, and you're like, yeah, that's bad too. It's like, what should they be done? What should be done to them?
They should go to jail if they're beating up police.
Okay,
Just
yeah,
fucking
I
go to
agree.
jail. I don't agree with that. I would never. I don't agree with that. But there's a difference. I don't think. Okay, Bronson.
But then also with the 50s thing you said, when I was like, yeah, they used to beat up people just because they were Italian or Irish. And you said, yeah, but they were ignorant. It's like, okay, that's
No,
okay,
what I'm
yes.
saying
And
is-
these people are ignorant.
No, okay.
Doesn't make it better.
The Middle Eastern mentality of the Islam.
Right, see, that's what I'm getting at. You're specifically have an issue with their ethnicity, not with just what they're
I
doing.
have an issue because that culturally, I'm making a general statement. That cultural ideology wants to take down America, America view, the capitalism ideology, and I have a problem with it. Anyone that comes over to our country and wants to take away our ideology, our freedoms, the rights to due process, things like that, I have a fucking problem. Right now, it just happens to be.
I agree.
It just happens to be this mentality, this ideology, this religious movement. I have a fucking problem with it. I like America. I don't want these illegal people coming in America, changing. I care about our safety. I care about our views. I believe that women should have equal rights. I care about due process. I don't think there should be intimidation. I don't agree with that. I think religion should be out of decision making in the government. These are problems. And I like the ideology of America. I like the freedoms. I like what it has to offer. If you don't like fucking America, get the fuck out of America. Okay, these are bad, toxic ideologies. Again, not all Muslims, that's not what I'm saying. Not all Middle Easterns, that's not what I'm saying. I'm making general fucking statements. When you want to take this, these people and culture want to take down America. I have a major fucking problem with it, period.
Yeah,
and I have to
I
my
agree.
children and my children's children and their future. And I don't want America like that. I want America to be the way America's supposed to be, like when it was under Reagan. That's just my opinion. You don't have to fucking like it. And you know, I give a fuck for someone, not you.
So let me ask you this, and I mean, I think I know the answer, but just to so you say how America was supposed to be under Reagan, meaning what? What is America supposed to be?
I don't know. I think that there was, again, general say values, old-fashioned values, work, no entitlement, no worried about.
So what, like Reagan was what, the 70s, like late 70s and 80s?
Okay.
No, I'm just I just so I can get a sense of right, like what time frame are you referencing? Like when you were a teenager?
When Reagan was I liked when I was a teenager. I thought things were better.
Reagan presidency. I'm not trying to gotcha you. I'm just curious. Okay, so he was president from 81 to 89. So the 80s.
Right. All right. So I liked family values. I liked that there was I like strong economies. I like when people feel safe. I like community. I like values. I like respect. I don't like entitlement. I think I hate this whole social media shit. I just think things are gotten so fucking bad. Even like which we talked about last time with the Olympics and the fucking wokeism shit and what was in the beginning. I'm so over this shit. I just
about there's all this Olympic controversy this week. Did you hear like
with the fighter?
Yeah, which I don't even know the details though, because there's so much stuff now, like because no one knows if she's actually trans or not.
I think she is or whatever, but then you have a picture of the person? Can you pull it up?
Yeah. Apparently, like she was born a woman and just had like an issue where she had produced a lot of testosterone. Amani, her name is Amani Kelif. Yeah, this is her.
Fucking America. You just need fucking family. Family is the most important thing. A family structure. There's no substitute for it.
This is her.
Oh, that's a dude.
But then there's these pictures. So like, there's these pictures of her as a kid that her family released, and like they didn't in Algeria in the 90s or whatever, like they didn't have trans, you know, like why would she be So
Go back to that one right here. This one right above Jake Paul. I want to see. Look at that muscle. Make it bigger. That's a dude. Okay, that's a dude.
so she like literally within one punch, she was going against an Italian female boxer, and within like one punch, the Italian woman tapped out. She went. Did you watch it?
No.
Oh, okay, I'll play it for you. Because literally, like within one punch, she goes to the announcer and she's like, "I'm done. I'm not going to fight this person." And so people were like, "This is ridiculous." Let me see if I can get up. Amani.
What were they saying is ridiculous?
People were like, "This is ridiculous that female boxers are having to tap out because they're afraid of being beaten up by males in the Olympics.
Right.
Like, this isn't what the Olympics is about."
Wasn't there an MMA?
Now it's coming out like we don't know what she is or not. Let me see if I can find it.
Does she have a vagina? Was she born with a vagina?
I don't know. It's not out yet. Like that's the thing. It's still wishy-washy. We can look it up. Let me get you this video so you can see. Can you see this?
Yeah. Look how much bigger.
And then this was her like at a press conference after, and she was, I mean, very upset. Obviously, she had to lose the Olympics, and her like people are defending her by saying like, yes, you shouldn't be beaten up,
right?
Which I get. Like, I wouldn't want to be, and a male is objectively going to beat up a female. 100%. And that's not what boxing is about. It's not about being demolished and beaten up to a pulp.
No, it's competing in your league.
Right. So I don't know if she was born with a vagina or not. Let's see. So
that whole woman from Italy trains her whole life for that shit and has to go up against a man that converts.
Well, we don't know. Let me see where I can. This is from the Independent. Let's see.
What are you reading?
Having been born a woman and lived her entire life as one, Kelif was catapulted to the center of a rabid debate over trans women in sport because her opponent, Angela Carini of Italy, refused to fight on after receiving what she described as the hardest punch of her life. While several high-profile figures jumped to accuse Kelif of being a trans man who was unfairly competing against women, it was quickly clarified that Kelif, who had suffered 9 losses in her international career, was a woman, but one who had previously failed the gender test due to a medical condition. The athlete, 25, previously told how she rose to compete at the highest level, only being told she explained that while she had a difficult childhood, she had the right physical qualities to be good at boxing. What's the medical condition? Growing up in conservative Algeria, where it is illegal to transition genders and be gay, Kelif explained that the people around her thought boxing was only for men. So yeah, see, like I don't know. It seems like would they lie? I don't think they would lie about that because that's something that I feel like the left would champion. They would be like, no, we want a trans woman in boxing.
I don't think anyone agrees with that. I don't think anyone agrees with that. It's just so skewed and unfair. I mean, come on.
If let's just say she is trans, right? Because there's two things. There's the like if she is or isn't, but if she is, or just the idea of trans women competing against women is just so wrong. And the fact we've talked about this, but like,
why would they want to?
The fact that the left champions that over women, like the left has literally said, no, women, we don't care what you think. Because a lot of women are like, I don't want to compete in a field where there are trans women competing.
Right. It's a man.
But the left, as a
policy, right?
Yeah, the left as a policy has been like, women, shut the fuck up. They are competing against you. And it's like the left, women were the bedrock of the left forever. And now men are coming in and being more valued than women in the eyes of the left. It's
Trump
so backwards.
Trump said he won't allow transgender men to play in women's sports.
Yeah, which
How
is a
could
good policy to run on.
How could anyone think that transgender women should be allowed to compete? But if I have a friend, if any one of my friends think that, please fucking text me and then I'll say lose my fucking number.
No, not lose my number, but let's talk about it. Why do you believe
No,
that?
lose my number because there's no. It's the same. If someone says I hate America, I want to take America down, or I hate Jews, I want Jews to die. That's the same thing. You're so fucking dumb and ignorant. I can't be friends with you. I can't. I'm gonna do what the left does. I fucking gotta defriend you. Because that's just beyond fucking stupid, beyond fucking ignorant, and you'll be the dumbest fucking human being breathing my oxygen if you think transgender fucking women should compete with fucking women.
And it's just like, I feel like everyone would be on board with there should be men category, women category, and then trans category. Like,
why do trans category?
No, because let's say you are a phenomenal swimmer and you also transition. What, now you can never do the sport ever again?
You just can't do it. You just can't compete in it. That's a choice you made.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Do it with the other, like, men compete with like people, men.
Hey, Ronnie, do you think that if it was a transgender man boxing with a Mike Tyson, right? So you have a woman.
Well, they would never get to that point to begin with because they wouldn't be as good enough.
But if so let's just assume, do you understand if Mike Tyson punched them in the face, what was that?
He would kill them.
Okay. If Mike Tyson punched them in the face, do you understand that people they would go after Mike Tyson, say how terrible he is, and they would make her the victim. The victim.
Yeah.
Him, it, whatever you want to fucking call it. It's fucking retarded.
Just before we wrap up, I wanted to play, I don't know if it'll load, we'll try, but I was telling you, like, the white dudes for Kamala and the white women for Kamala. I wanted to play you those videos.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Because we were on that, and then you were like, right. Yeah, and in England, and then I was like, oh, England, we got to talk about England, and then no, it's just that's what we did. So this is like one of the people that was organizing the white women for Kamala, and this is just, I just want to play it just because they're just comical, you just got to listen to a little bit of this.
People like point of order,
kind of, yeah, but those people are so, like, liberal that you never even interact with those people. These people are like people that are in every company, in every school. These are like normal people that feel this way. So here, you gotta, I hope it loads. If it doesn't, we just won't play.
Of over 1.5 million followers is here to help gentle parent us through this election. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am so honored to speak today. I am like shaking to just be among such incredible company. We are here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in as white women.
Okay, so do you know what BIPOC is?
No, fucking retards.
Black, I don't know what the I is. Black Indigenous people of color, I think. So she's saying Black women have tapped, because remember, this isn't just women for Harris. It's only white women are on this Zoom, which I thought was funny. So she's saying Black women have tapped us in as white women, and then here she's going to keep going.
And to step up, listen, and get involved this election season. This is a really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way. So tonight, I'm going to share some do's and don'ts for getting involved in politics online and navigating the toxicity that comes with it. And spoiler alert, as much as the toxicity can come from the outside, it can come from us too. So first, don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself
But we need to use our privilege of being white.
Yeah, look, she says if you find yourself talking over or speaking for Black women,
for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on. So do learn from.
So she's literally saying to the 100,000 white women that are on here.
Oh, 1.5 million.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
No, she said she has 1.5 million followers, I think. But she said, don't speak for a Black woman. God forbid if you correct them, stop yourself. Which is like, but what if they're wrong? You know, it's like it's so moronic.
And her privilege of being white. You know, I don't want to fucking hear it, Bronny. I can't fucking, that's a trigger. Fuck her. I don't want to hear it. Her and her facial expressions. Let me tell you, she also, I'm sure, supports Hamas and Palestinians. Let her go fucking let her go to Hamas and get fucking raped and see them put her in jail and a cage. And then she'd be like, oh my God, I wish I was back home in America with my fucking husband who makes $4 million a year to protect me. And I want to go get a Starbucks and pick up my kid at school after I go to Pilates. Give me a fucking break, you full of shit. You know what? Fuck her. Fuck her. Seriously, I can't even watch these people. That's the problem we're gonna have if Kamala wins. These are the problems we're going to fucking have, where she feels privileged because of how she was born. She should feel privileged who she fucking married. Okay, that's where she should feel fucking privileged, if she's even married.
I doubt it. It'd be really annoying to be married to her.
Her facial expression.
Right? And she's she's talking to everyone like she's a school teacher of her children.
That's what I was thinking. Like she was like teaches fifth grade.
And she's like, just put on your listening ears. If there's, yeah,
there's a lot of toxicity inside too.
Yeah,
fucking
ridiculous. Yeah,
Ronnie, this is the problem. This is the fucking problem.
Well, we're white dudes for Trump.
No, but where did it come from? It happened from fucking news and the media, this wokeism shit. I never grew up with this. And your generation, like, even when I watch your generation and I say, even with Bryce, when I say, retard, Dad, you can't say that. I'm like, oh, give me a fucking break. He's 240 and he's telling me I can't say, or I'm like, gay. And I say that jokingly. And I got like, you can't say that. I'm like, oh my God.
Speaking of that, you should listen to Joe Rogan just did a new stand-up special on Netflix.
I watched the first 25 minutes. I gotta tell you, I was tired. I wasn't loving it.
He's not really like a comedian. I've seen his stand-up live before, and he's not that funny. But he had a joke. I didn't watch it. I just saw it on Twitter. He had a joke where he was like, people are always like telling me, oh, what? You'll say the R word, but you won't say the N word. And he's like, yeah, because I'm not a retard.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, because I'm not afraid of a bunch of retards beating me up. I am afraid of Black people beating me up. So I'm not going to say the N word. And then he goes, and so all of you faggots need to shut up. So he was like, I'm not afraid of gay people. I'm not afraid of retarded people.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
It is so fucked up. This whole, whatever, Bron. I don't want to trick.
All right. We'll let you enjoy the rest of your vacation.
I love you, Bronny. Everybody,
love you too.
It's always good to be back. Love you. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.